Going on this video, we're going to be talking about the sadness. Hey guys, welcome to Victims and Villains. If you guys are new to the show, my name is Captain Nostalgia. I'm one of the podcasters and writers here, and Victims and Villains is a non-profit / publication that creates content which educates and engages individuals on mental health awareness and suicide prevention through pop culture. We're winding down on this year's coverage of Fantasia Fest 2021. And you guys can catch a list and all the links to all of our coverage in the links in the descriptions below, or the link in the bio wherever you guys are watching this. But on this video, we're going to be talking about the sadness, an official selection of Fantasia Fest 2021. The sadness actually comes from Taiwan, and it tells the story of a global pandemic and a couple that gets separated at the beginning of the day and trying to make their way back to one another during the midst of the chaos. Right out the gate, the best way that I can compare this movie is imagine the Nicolas Cage Selma Blair movie Mom and Dad, but on a global scale. Basically, if you don't know what Mom and Dad is the story where this radio frequency basically makes every parent go homicidal towards their offspring. The sadness is a little bit differently, though, in regards to how it comes across, because in this one, it's left as a mystery as the source of where this outbreak truly comes from. And that honestly was one of the best things that this film has going for it. Like, I just constantly was glued to the screen wanting to know, what is the source of this virus, where did it come from, and why is it mostly just affecting men? That's an interesting thing to talk about when you talk about the sadness, is that it is a disease that only mostly affects the men of the country, and it drives them to just be bloodthirsty, just savages, truly. On the subject of blood, this is one of the bloodiest movies I have ever seen. Honestly, the subway scene that you guys are going to see a lot of pictures floating around the internet. It was the cover art for Bloody Disgusting's review of this movie. Without a doubt, one of the best sequences that I have seen in film this year. Honestly, this film kind of feels like Mom and Dad meets Train to Busan. And I say it because the film opens up on this very young couple, and they basically, husband takes his wife to work, and as soon as this all starts breaking out, the outbreak starts, he's quickly trying to just go and reconnect with his wife. We spend a majority of the time with him trying to get back to her, and her trying to get a wounded girl back to safety and ultimately back to her husband. This couple dynamic really establishes a emotional foundation that's really rare in horror films. And I found it truly compelling on top of the bloody fun that this film has. The acting in this is really, really solid. Though the film wastes no time getting into this outbreak, it is paced extremely well. It balances itself really well from just the bloody chaos of the outbreak to the emotional core of this couple. Really well. I'm going to say for me, and got a little tongue-tied there. I'm going to say for me, this film gets a 4 out of 5. It's really, really strong. It's one of the funnest films of the year. And if you love blood, if you love gore, this film is right up your alley. Highly recommend it. And the mental health moment for this movie is actually going to come from the core couple. If you guys are new to our content, a mental health moment is basically where we take a theme or quote from the movie and pull out and just talk about mental and how it relates to mental health. Whether it's a husband, whether it's a wife, whether it's a partner, whether it is just a friend, brother, sister, companion, whatever, make sure that you guys always have someone that can fight for you in your corner and that will go up against borderline zombie creatures for you. Because at the end of the day, like, that's what makes this film so satisfying, is the fact that there is heart behind it, and that heart is honestly something that can truly improve your own mental health. And so always make sure that you find yourself with those. And if you or someone you know is struggling with suicide, addiction, self-harm, or depression, click the links in the descriptions or the link in the bio wherever you guys are currently watching this from. The reason we make this content is so that you can know that you have value and worth, and that no matter what you're going through, to tell you that you are not alone and that mental health resources are available for you. I love talking about horror, and I love introducing people to new films within the genre, but it's not the sole reason we make this content. So please consider staying with us. And just so you guys know, suicide is currently the 10th leading cause of death in the United States. There are 132 suicides as of this video that occur right here on American soil. And when we look to international numbers, there are 800,000 successful suicides that take place each and every day. That's one death roughly every 40 seconds. So if you or someone you know is struggling, consider the resources in the bio or in the descriptions below. Thank you guys for hanging out with us, and be sure to check out the rest of the Fantasia Fest and keep a lookout for some of the films we've covered this year. We've seen some truly great films.